Hi, I'm a walking billboard. You like my shape? I'm just kidding. They're going to think I'm an advertisement for this gym. Anyway, Thelma, we're on Park Avenue. It's kind of a gray day today. We have a really great interview. Dawn is interviewing the Rooks now. Let me know after. You can call me. I want to know if you think the lead singer looks like John Lennon. People kind of say he does. It's kind of weird. Speaking of John Lennon, remember Julian Lennon? He was cute.
Somewhere, right? What if I sit on the floor? Well, you have to look comfortable. I mean, if you're on the floor, you should have a cushion or something. Yeah. Dawn Eden with you for Videowave, and I'm here with 3/4 of my favorite band in existence, and I like them better than any band I've ever interviewed on this show. I'm sorry, everybody else.
You've done this before?
No, you're the first people I've
all
ever...
the bands.
I do not. This is bass player Ann Bankovitz, Kristen Pinnell, lead guitarist, and lead singer, very funny, but lead singer, rhythm guitarist Michael A. Mazzarella. Like I said, 3/4 of the Rooks, whose latest album is called Chimes, on the appropriately named Not Lame label. So, guys.
They're the guys.
Yeah.
Yes, guys, and Michael. Why are you playing with Mr. Potato Head? The inquiring minds want to know.
Well, if you take a look at this apartment, Anne is also a toy designer. She's a toy designer, so.
In my part-time, my spare
That's
time.
why I'm playing with Mr. Potato Head.
So I like to have inspirational, fun, weird things to play with, to distract the viewers from what's really supposed to be going on.
That's kind of like what the Rooks are, inspiration.
Yeah, we're
weird, fun thing.
inspiration and distraction from everyday life.
Now, when you guys when you write a song and you bring it to the band,
We run.
How do the songs go from Michael Mazzarella in his brownstone apartment on acoustic guitar to being sung with angelic harmonies and incredible lead and bass fills by the whole band?
Songs brought in, the structure's usually worked out, and we take it from there. I bring in chord changes, and sometimes I have a guitar riff that goes around it, but it just builds from the chord structures up.
What do you think?
I often have ideas for harmonies and things, but we do it together.
What do you think people would be most surprised to know about you as a band?
That we like more than the Byrds and the Beatles.
That
Yeah,
Kristen and I
like
carry all the equipment.
I like
I don't think anyone's surprised with that.
my guitar weighs 15 pounds now.
That we drive when we go on tour, and we don't like the metro. That wouldn't surprise anybody, no.
No, it wouldn't. But what you said about that you like more than the Beatles and the Byrds, it's very interesting. I mean, there's a very fine line in terms of when you want to let people know that you're more than just a pop band, but also when you want to let people who like pop know that you're the band for them. I mean, how do you manage to straddle that without totally, alienating pop fans, but without turning off people who are from other scenes who might like your music?
It's just, as long as we're melodic, that's all that matters. As long as you don't lose the sense of melody. I mean, a lot of the alternative scene turned into noise. Noise that didn't really mean anything, and it was just noise for the sake of being noise. But we'll always keep that sense of melody. Something you could take away with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not going to get heavy on anybody to the point of, Pearl Jam or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're that heavy, but what sometimes bothers me is the fact that, people think we're just Love Said to Me and Down, and there are other sides, there are other pages in that book, and that's what I think we're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to, have us present that in Chimes, and I think we're going to take that another step with the new record.
Which is called A Wishing Well.
Right.
When is that slated to come out?
It's not until, we have no...
I would say
it was supposed to be
the summer.
September, and then it was supposed to be January, and now we just don't know because we're just trying to get more funds to
We're
finish it.
holding as many bake sales as we can.
Yeah.
But we haven't come up with.
I think that people who see your name so much in the press would assume that you're on a label that gives you the means to do such things. There's
They
probably
do. They help
Well,
us
he
out a
does.
lot.
I mean, he's
But
an
recording's
independent
very
label.
expensive these days.
He's an independent label, and you only get a certain amount of money on an independent. And actually, Bruce Brodeen from Not Lame has given us more money than he
He's done a
probably
lot
should
for
have.
us. He really has. But
But-
there's only so. He's just a small label.
I wasn't trying to put him down. I'm just saying that I think there's a bit of a gap in the perception and reality.
Oh no, it's not easy making these records. It's really hard. But I think that has, all these elements, I think they all come into play in the final analysis of the record, because if we were able to go in and do these things in 2 and 3 weeks with a budget, I don't think they'd come out the same. I think it's nice that we're able to step back and rethink our steps sometimes. So in those times of non-productiveness, when we're just waiting for money to come in, we're also able to rework things in the rehearsal studios. And sometimes I'll come up with an idea just listening to another record, and that time spent allows us to reflect and add new things to the records.
It's very. Thank you, Michael. I'm trying to be like David
welcome,
Frost, But it's the cameraman / producer / director is laughing as I say that. There's not very much understanding in the rock world of musicians who are not songwriters. I think that a lot of people don't really understand that it's possible for a musician to be in a band and be a great musician and to be totally, enhancing and enlivening the sound of the band, and yet not be contributing as a songwriter and a lead singer. I was wondering, how you both see your roles in terms of being musicians, background singers, not songwriters.
Well, what's something you said something about not contributing, and I don't agree with that, because we are contributing as songwriters. Because if I'm Michael's bassist, he doesn't question what I play. Now, I might come into a session and play a part that he's never heard, but he trusts that what I'm going to do is the best I can do at that moment and what I think is appropriate for that song. And often we agree. Most of the time we do. Because that's what I'm here for. If he wanted to play bass, he'd do it all himself, but he doesn't. And you're in getting other players that aren't writers, you're opening yourself up to other people's ideas, but because they play their instrument and you don't play that instrument.
Like you said before, we all listen to a lot of different kinds of music, and I think that's why people find us so interesting, is because I'm not just listening to pop music. I play jazz, classical, I like Indian music, I like all this different stuff, and I bring it to the guitar when I play it, and I think people know something's different and they like it, but they don't know
Even if they
that's
understand
behind it.
why, they might not know where we're bringing something.
Right.
They go, oh wow, this sounds interesting, but
So, Michael, one question that I'm sure people wonder, and this is your fans as well as your detractors wonder this,
Detract?
is when you opened your mouth to cry when you were a baby, when you first used your vocal cords, did you sound exactly like John Lennon?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. There is the truth, directly from Michael Mazzarella's mouth.
I'm not writing songs now, like single songs. I'm writing in terms of albums, with somewhat of the same theme and sound running through them. So when I sat down to write the third album, I did that, with a focus of, okay, the next batch of songs I'm going to write, I'm hoping to place them all into the same, so there's some, cohesiveness to it. And that's just what happened. So I don't sit down and write separate songs any longer. But, things come and go. We had a song called Tattletale, which was going to be on the new record. That's fallen by the wayside. And now a song called Some and Others is going to take its place. It happens, I mean, things will come and go, but,
And a lot of these are songs that you only do in the studio and don't do live.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of songs that you can take off live.
You have a 45-minute set, and people are in a club, and you have to be loud and energetic, and they're not going to
Yeah, if it's a concert setting, it's a different situation.
We do acoustic stuff that you can spread out a little bit. But.
Oh yeah, when you do the Sidewalk Cafe acoustic shows,
Latch's
great.
Sidewalk Cafe.
matches. Is his name officially on the
Fort.
As far as I'm
that's-
concerned, it is.
That's interesting.
He's turned that whole thing around.
Yeah, totally. So I'd like to really thank you all for coming down, especially Anne, who couldn't help coming down because she lives here.
Yes.
I've been talking to Kristen, Anne, and Michael, 3/4 of the Rooks. Pat Urell,
Here he
the
is.
drummer,
He's
couldn't
come
make
late.
it. Oh, here he is, Pat Urell. Oh, I really liked your fills on It's
Under the
Kind
weather
Shit.
today.
They were Kristen's fills.
Polyfoam fills or the feathered down fills?
Thanks. This has been Dawn Eden for Videowave.
Bye-bye.